This verse of the Dhammapada verse 17 was expounded by the Blessed One while he was dwelling at Jetavana Monastery in connection with Devadatta. The story of Devadatta from the time he entered the order as a bhikkhu until the earth split open and swallowed him is related in all the Jataka commentaries. The following is a summary of the account. While the Blessed One was residing in the mango grove at Anupiya, near Anupiya, a town of the Mallas, 80,000 of his kinsmen one day perceived in him the marks of a Tathagata. The 80,000 young noblemen, their sons, reflected together that whether he was to become a universal monarch or a fully enlightened Buddha, he would live attended by a retinue of princes of the Katiya clan. Thereupon, all except 6 of the young princes renounced the world and entered the order as bhikkhus. Seeing that the 6 Sakyan princes, King Badya, the princes Anuruddha, Ananda, Bhagu, Kimbala, and Devadatta, had not yet gone forth, the Sakyan clansmen discussed among themselves, "We have sent only our own sons into the Sangha. These 6 Sakyan princes must not be close kinsmen of the Buddha, for they have not gone forth as bhikkhus." Accordingly, one day, the Sakyan prince Mahanama went to his younger brother Anuruddha and said, "Brother, in our family, no one has yet gone forth. You should renounce the household life and become a bhikkhu. Then I shall follow your example." At that time, Anuruddha had been brought up in great luxury and indulgence. He had never heard the word, "There is none." For example, on one occasion, these 6 Sakyan princes were playing at dice. Anuruddha staked cakes as his wager. When he lost, he sent word home asking for cakes. His mother prepared cakes and sent them. After eating them, the princes continued their game. Anuruddha lost again and again. 3 times, his mother sent cakes. The 4th time she sent back the message, "There are no cakes." Until then, Anuruddha had never heard the words, "There are none." Thinking it must be the name of another kind of cake, he sent the attendant boy back with the message, "Please send me some of the no cakes." When his mother received the message, "Mother, please send me some no cakes," she reflected, "My son has never before heard the words, 'There are none.' I will teach him their meaning." So she placed one empty golden bowl upside down upon another golden bowl and sent it to her son. The guardian deities of the city knew that in a former existence, Anuruddha had been Anapara, and that he had offered his own portion of food to the Pacheka Buddha Uparitha, making the aspiration, "May I never hear the words, 'There is none.' May I never need to know whence my food comes." Now, if Anuruddha were to see an empty bowl, those deities would never again be able to attend the celestial assemblies. Moreover, their heads might split into 7 pieces. Therefore the devas filled the bowl with celestial cake. As soon as the bowl was set down upon the round tray and opened, the fragrance of the cakes spread throughout the city. Furthermore, when a morsel was placed in his mouth, 7,000 taste nerves thrilled with delight. Having enjoyed them, Anuruddha concluded, "My mother does not truly love me." On previous occasions, she never fried these no cakes for me. From now on, I shall eat no other kind of cake. He then went home and asked his mother, "Mother, do you love me?" "My dear child, you are to me like the precious eye of a one-eyed man. Indeed, you are dearer to me even than my own heart. If you love me, then why did you never before fry these no cakes for me?" The mother questioned the attendant boy, "Child, was there nothing in the bowl?" "Madam, the tray was filled with cakes, and I have never before seen such cakes." Then the mother understood. Truly my son possesses great merit. Surely he once made a powerful aspiration. The devas must have filled the tray and sent it to him. The boy then said to his mother, "From now on, I shall eat no other kind of cake. Henceforth, please fry only no cakes for me." From that time on, whenever her son said, "I wish to eat cakes," she would send an empty bowl covered with another bowl. And for as long as he lived at home, the Deva sent celestial cakes for him. Since Anuruddha was so utterly innocent in such matters, how could he possibly conceive the meaning of the words, to become a bhikkhu? For this reason, he asked his brother, "What does it mean to become a bhikkhu?" His brother replied, "Life as a bhikkhu," his brother said, "means shaving off one's hair and beard, sleeping in the forest, even as one would in a fine bed, and going about everywhere on alms round." Anuruddha expressed his thoughts. "Brother, I am too accustomed to comfort. I shall never be able to become a bhikkhu." "Very well, dear brother," the other replied, "then learn agriculture and live the life of a householder. But at least one of us must go forth and become a bhikkhu." Anuruddha asked, "What is agriculture? How could one expect a youth to understand the meaning of agriculture when he did not even know whence food comes?" On one occasion, the three princes Kimbila, Padilla, and Anuruddha were discussing among themselves where food comes from. Kimbila said, "It comes from the granary." Padilla said, "You do not know where food comes from. It comes from the cooking pot." Anuruddha said, "Both of you truly do not know where food comes from. It comes from a golden bowl covered with a jeweled lid." It is said that one day, Kimbila saw rice being taken out of the storehouse and immediately thought, "The rice is produced in the granary." Likewise, one day Padilla saw food being ladled out of a pot and concluded, "It comes from the pot." Anuruddha had never seen rice being stored, cooked, or taken from a pot. He only saw it after it had been served and placed before him. Therefore, he believed that whenever people wished to eat, food appeared and was in a golden bowl. Such was the ignorance of the three princes regarding the origin of food. Returning to the moment when Anuruddha asked, "What does it mean to practice agriculture?" he received the following answer. First, the field must be plowed, then other tasks must be done, and still other tasks besides, and these labors must be carried on year after year. He reflected within himself, "If the duties connected with farming are of such a nature, when will they ever come to an end? When shall we have time to enjoy our wealth at ease?" And thinking that the obligations of agriculture were endless and without cessation, he changed his mind. "In that case, brother, you should live the life of a householder. As for me, I shall not live in that way." Afterwards, he went to his mother and said, "Mother, grant me permission. I wish to go forth and become a bhikkhu." 3 times, he asked his mother for permission to go forth, and 3 times she refused. At last she said to him, "If King Badiyya, your friend, goes forth, then you may go forth with him." Thereupon, he went to his friend Padilla and said, "Friend, I may go forth on the condition that you go forth." Anuruddha urged Padilla by every argument to accompany him into homelessness, and at last, on the 7th day, Padilla consented. Then the 6 Katya princes, Padilla, king of the Sakyans, Anuruddha, Ananda, Bhagu, Kimbila, and Devadatta, together with the barber Upali, making 7 in all, after spending 7 days in celestial-like enjoyment, set out adorned with garments and ornaments in fourfold splendor, as though going to a pleasure garden. When they reached the frontier of another kingdom, they dismissed their retinue and sent the soldiers back. They removed their ornaments, tied them up in a bundle, and gave them to Upali, saying, "Upali, now return. This wealth will be sufficient for your livelihood." Upali threw himself at their feet, rolled upon the ground, and wept bitterly. Yet not daring to disobey, he rose and began to return. At the moment of parting, the forest trees bent low and the earth trembled. After going But a short distance, Upali felt uneasy, thinking, "The Sakyans are harsh and violent. They may kill me, supposing that I have slain their princes." Then he reflected, "These Sakyan princes have abandoned their luxurious lives, cast aside priceless ornaments, as though they were mere spittle, and intend to go forth as bhikkhus. Why should I not do likewise?" Opening the bundle, he hung the ornaments upon a tree and left them there for whoever might wish to take them. Then he returned to the princes. Surprised, they asked why he had come back. He told them the whole story. Thus the 6 princes, together with the barber Upali, approached the Blessed One and respectfully said, "Venerable Sir, we Sakyans are proud by nature. This barber has long been our attendant. May the Blessed One first admit him into the Sangha by honoring him as our senior. Our pride will be subdued." Thus they first requested that the barber Upali be ordained before them, and only afterward did they themselves enter the Sangha. Among the 6 Sakyan princes, the Venerable Padiya attained the threefold knowledge, Tevijja during the first rains retreat. The Venerable Anuruddha attained the divine eye, Dibakaku, and later, after hearing the discourse entitled The Reflections of a Great Man, he realized arahantship. The Venerable Ananda attained the fruit of stream entry, Sodapati. The Elder Bhagu and the Elder Kimbila subsequently developed insight, Vipassana, and attained arahantship. Devadatta, however, attained only inferior psychic powers. After some time, while the Blessed One was residing at Kosambi, wealth and renown flowed toward the Blessed One and his disciples. People who came to the monastery carried robes, medicines, and other offerings in their hands, and would ask, "Where is the Master? Where is the Elder Sariputta? Where is the Elder Mahamoggallana? Where is the Elder Kassapa? Where is the Elder Bhaddiya? Where is the Elder Anuruddha? Where is the Elder Ananda? Where is the Elder Bhagu? Where is the Elder Kimbila?" Having spoken thus, they would go to the seats of the 80 great disciples, but no one inquired about Devadatta. From that time onward, he became discontented, thinking, "I went forth at the same time as those bhikkhus and belong to the warrior caste, just as they do. Yet the donors who bring offerings seek only those bhikkhus and never mention my name. Whose side shall I take? Whom shall I win over in order to obtain gain and honor?" Thus he began to contemplate schism. Then he reflected further. King Bimbisara, on the very first day, he met the Buddha, together with 110,000 followers, attained stream entry. I cannot win him over, nor can I attach myself to King Pasenadi of Kosala, but I shall approach Prince Ajatasattu, who lacks discernment. From Kosambi, Devadatta went to Rajagaha. There, he transformed himself into the form of a young man, adorned with serpents, 4 coiled around his hands and feet, 1 around his neck, 1 upon his head, like a crest, and 1 draped over his shoulders. Thus ornamented with snakes, he descended through the air and seated himself upon the lap of Prince Ajatasattu. Terrified, Ajatasattu asked, "Who are you?" "I am Devadatta." To allay the prince's fear, Devadatta resumed his appearance as a bhikkhu, wearing his robe and carrying his alms bowl. In this way, he won the favor of Ajatasattu. Together with gain and honor, having obtained gain and honor, Devadatta resolved, "I must become the leader of the Sangha." But as soon as this evil thought arose in him, he lost all his psychic powers. At that time, the Blessed One was expounding the Dhamma to the Sangha at the Bamboo Grove Monastery, Veluvana, and the king was present in the assembly. In the midst of the discourse, Devadatta rose from his seat, paid homage to the Buddha, and with palms joined respectfully requested, "Venerable Sir, the Blessed One is now aged and weary. Let the Blessed One live at ease, free from responsibility. I shall lead the Sangha Pray entrust the Sangha to me." The Blessed One, instead of consenting to Devadatta's proposal, rejected his request and rebuked him, calling him a licker of spittle. Devadatta departed in extreme anger. This was the first time he bore hatred toward the Blessed One. The Buddha then made known the matter of Devadatta at Rajagaha. Devadatta's resentment did not subside. Having been reproved by the Blessed One, he resolved to destroy him. He went to Ajatasattu and devised a plot. "Young prince, in former times, men lived long, but now they die young. A prince such as yourself may not live long. Therefore, kill your father and become king. I shall kill the Blessed One and become the Buddha." The scheme took effect. Ajatasattu slew his father and ascended the throne. Devadatta, undeterred, climbed alone to the summit of Vulture Peak, thinking, "By myself, I shall bring the life of the ascetic Gautama to an end." He hurled down a great rock, but it merely wounded the Blessed One, causing blood to flow. Failing again in his attempt to kill the Buddha, he devised another plan to release the fierce elephant Nalagiri against him. As the elephant charged forward, the Venerable Ananda stood in front, ready to sacrifice his life to shield the Blessed One. But the Blessed One subdued the elephant through his loving kindness and departed from the city, returning to the monastery. After partaking of a meal offered by thousands of devoted lay followers, the Blessed One, at the proper time, expounded the Dhamma to the citizens of Rajagaha, numbering 180,084,000 attained the vision of the Dhamma, Dhammakaku. At that time, the bhikkhu ceaselessly praised Ananda. Venerable Ananda is truly noble. When the fierce elephant rushed forward, he was willing to sacrifice his life, standing before the Blessed One. Hearing the bhikkhus speak thus, the Buddha said, "Bhikkhus, this is not the first time Ananda has sacrificed himself for me. In a former existence, he acted in the same way, and in response to the request of the bhikkhus, the Blessed One related the Shataka of Kula Hamsa and Kakata. Although Devadatta had plotted the death of the king, hired assassins to kill the Buddha, and hurled a rock from the mountain, none of these stirred public opinion as greatly as his releasing the elephant against the Blessed One. The people, knowing what had occurred, murmured among themselves, "Devadatta has caused the death of the king, hired murderers, cast down a rock, and now has released the elephant Nalagiri. The king associates with such a wicked man." When the king heard this, he withdrew the 500 cooking pots that had been supplying Devadatta's meals and ceased from providing him with support. Likewise, the people no longer made offerings to him when he went on alms round. Having lost both fame and gain, Devadatta resorted to further stratagem. He approached the Blessed One and proposed 5 austerities, but the master rejected them, saying, "Enough, Devadatta, whoever wishes may undertake such practices and dwell as a forest ascetic." Turning then to the bhikkhus, Devadatta said, "Venerable brethren, which teaching is more noble, that of the Buddha, or what I have just proposed? Very well then, the ascetic should live in the forest all his life, go for alms from house to house, wear robes made from discarded rags, dwell at the foot of a tree, and abstain from fish and meat. Whoever desires liberation from suffering, let him come to me." Having spoken thus, Devadatta departed. Some newly ordained bhikkhus, lacking wisdom, hearing these words, thought Devadatta spoke rightly. Thus, 500 bhikkhus followed him. Devadatta, persuading both the credulous and the experienced alike, induced them to adopt the 5 points and to live by going on alms round among many families. At the same time, he continued to seek to create division within the Sangha. When the Blessed One heard of this, he said, "Devadatta, is it true, as reported, that you are deliberately creating a schism in the Sangha?" Devadatta replied, "It is true." The Buddha said, "Devadatta, to cause a schism in the Sangha is a grievous evil deed." The Blessed One admonished Devadatta further, but he paid no heed to the teaching. Departing, Devadatta encountered the Venerable Ananda, who was going on alms round in the city of Rajagaha, and he said, "Venerable Ananda, from this day forth, I shall perform the formal act of proclamation and establish a separate Sangha. I have no need of the Sangha, nor of the Blessed One." The Venerable Ananda reported this to the Buddha. The Master was righteously indignant, knowing that by such conduct, Devadatta was closing the doors to heavenly and human realms for himself, and would suffer in the great Avicii hell. Then he reflected thus, "Easy it is to do what is evil and harmful to oneself, but what is wholesome and beneficial, that is exceedingly difficult to do." And again, the Blessed One uttered this verse, "Easy for the good is the doing of good, hard for the wicked is the doing of good for the wicked. Wholesome deeds are hard to perform, for the virtuous, evil deeds are hard to commit." On the day of the formal proclamation, Devadatta sat on one side with his followers and said, "Whoever approves of the 5 points, let him take a voting leaf." 500 Lichavi princes, novices lacking gratitude, took the voting leaves. Devadatta led them to Gayasisa. When the Blessed One learned that they had gone there, he dispatched his 2 chief disciples to bring them back. The 2 elders went there and, displaying their supernormal powers, expounded the Dhamma. The 500 bhikkhus tasted the flavor of Nibbana and, following the 2 elders, flew through the air back to the monastery to pay homage to the Buddha. Kokalika Thera, who had conspired with Devadatta, seeing this, went and awakened him. "Rise, friend. Devadatta, Sariputta, and Moggallana have carried off all your bhikkhus. Did I not tell you not to trust Sariputta and Moggallana?" Devadatta said, "Sariputta and Moggallana harbor evil intentions." No sooner had he spoken these words than his knees struck his chest, and fresh blood gushed from his mouth. When the bhikkhus saw the Venerable Sariputta flying through the air, surrounded by a company of ascetics, they informed the Blessed One, "Venerable Sir, the Venerable Sariputta went forth with but one companion, and has returned in splendor, surrounded by a great multitude." The Blessed One replied, "Bhikkhus, this is not the first time such a thing has occurred. In a former birth, when Sariputta was born as an animal, he likewise returned to me in glory in this manner." And the Buddha related the Lakkhana Jataka. In that former birth, Sariputta, as the deer Lakkhana, safeguarded 500 deer of his herd and led them safely back after the hunting season. But the deer Kala, the former birth of Devadatta, failed to protect his herd, and 500 deer perished. The virtuous and kindly one, for him all things prosper. Behold Lakkhana, returning, leading all his kin, but look upon Kala, not one kinsman remains. The bhikkhus further said, "Venerable Sir, it is said that Devadatta seated the 2 chief disciples at his sides, and, imitating the Blessed One, declared, 'I shall expound the Dhamma like the Buddha.'" The Blessed One said, "Bhikkhus, this is not the first time he has acted thus. In a former existence, he also imitated me, but he failed. Viraka, have you seen my husband Savitaka? His voice was gentle and sweet, his neck radiant, like a peacock's hue. Savithaka, seeking to imitate, like Viraka, the water crow, dived to catch a fish in the lake. Entangled in weeds, he died. In order to recount the whole story, the Blessed One narrated the Viraka Jataka. A few days later, on the same theme, he related the Kandagalaka Jataka and the Virokana Jataka. The woodpecker flew through the forest, pecking at trees soft and decayed for food. but striking a sturdy resinous tree, he pierced it in error, and his head was shattered. His brain flowed out. His skull was crushed. His ribs were broken to fragments, a dreadful and pitiable sight. One day, hearing the remark, "Devadatta is ungrateful," the Blessed One related the Java Sakuna Jataka. "We have served you faithfully and honored you with devotion. Now we humbly entreat you, grant us mercy, spare our lives. I have held you firmly in my jaws. I live by drinking blood and devouring flesh. The habit of killing I have long sustained. You have lived long enough. Why lament?" Again, the Buddha told the Kurunga Jataka, showing that Devadatta wandered about only to kill. The deer well understood. "It was you who dropped the fruit. I shall hasten to another tree. This tree does not please me. I depart." Moreover, when people discussed among themselves, Devadatta has lost gain, honor, and the noble standing of an ascetic, the Blessed One said, "Bhikkhus, this is not the first time he has lost everything. In a former birth, it was the same." And he related the Ubhata Jataka, with sight destroyed and garments lost, quarreling even within his own house. His undertakings all came to ruin, both in water and upon the land, while dwelling at Rajagaha. The Blessed One thus recounted the former births of Devadatta. Thereafter he went to Savatthi and resided at Jetavana. Devadatta suffered from illness for 9 months. At last, desiring to see the Blessed One, he said to his disciple, "I wish to see the Master. Help me to go to him." They replied, "When you were strong, you behaved with hostility toward the Blessed One. We will not lead you to see the Buddha." Devadatta said, "Do not harm me. It is true that I bore hatred toward the Blessed One, but he has never harbored even the slightest ill will toward me." And indeed, Devadatta, the would-be murderer, Angulimala the bandit, the elephant, Dhammapada, and Rahula, toward all, the Buddha remained serene and gentle. "Allow me to see the Blessed One," Devadatta pleaded repeatedly. At last, they placed him upon a litter and carried him. When the bhikkhus heard that Devadatta was coming, they informed the Buddha, "Venerable Sir, Devadatta is coming to see the Blessed One." The Buddha said, "He will not see me again in this very life." It is said that from the time those ascetics proposed the 5 points, they were no longer able to see the Buddha. "Venerable Sir, they have reached that place. That place, whatever he may do, he will not see me again. Venerable Sir, he is now but 1 yojana away, half a yojana away, but a short distance away. He has reached the lotus pond. Even if he enters Jetavana itself, he will not see me." Those who were carrying Devadatta brought him to the lotus pond of the monastery. Setting down the litter, they went to bathe before presenting themselves to the Buddha. Devadatta sat up, placed his feet upon the ground, and immediately began to sink into the earth. He sank slowly, first to the ankles, then to the knees, to the hips, to the chest, to the neck. At last, when he was level with the surface of the earth, he recited this verse, "With these bones and this flesh, while breath yet remains, I take refuge in the Buddha, teacher of gods and men, Blessed One, tamer of beings, fully enlightened, whose virtue ever shines, adorned with 100 radiant marks." According to the tradition, when the Blessed One beheld what was taking place, he again permitted Devadatta to go forth as a samana, for the Buddha knew that if Devadatta had remained a layman unordained, with the weight of such grievous deeds, he would have no ground for confidence or hope regarding future existence. But as one who had gone forth, however terrible his offenses, he could yet retain a measure of faith concerning a future destiny. It is said that after 100,000 eons, Devadatta will become a Pacceka Buddha named Atisara, Heavenly King, Tathagata, in a realm called Sundarapatha. After sinking into the earth and dying, Devadatta was reborn in Avicii hell. Since he committed an offense against a perfectly enlightened Buddha, let him suffer uninterrupted torment. Such was the agony Devadatta endured, because Avicii hell is 100 leagues in extent. His body was likewise 100 leagues in height. His head, as far as the ears, was enclosed within an iron skull. His feet to the ankles were embedded in an iron floor. A massive iron stake, as thick as the trunk of a palmyra tree, shot forth from the western wall of the iron prison, piercing through his waist, passing through his chest, and emerging from the eastern wall. Another iron stake came from the northern wall, yet another descended from above, piercing through his skull, and passing downward into the iron floor beneath. In this posture, unable to move, Devadatta endured extreme suffering. The bhikkhus began discussing. Devadatta came from afar, but did not see the Blessed One. Instead, he was swallowed alive by the earth. The Buddha said, "This is not the first time Devadatta has committed an offense against me and been swallowed by the earth. In a former birth, he was likewise buried alive." To illustrate this, he related a former birth in which he himself had been born as a noble elephant king. A certain man once lost his way in the forest. The elephant king allowed him to sit upon his back and carried him safely out. Later, the man returned 3 times in succession and sawed off the tip, the middle, and finally, the base of the elephant's tusks. As soon as he had gone out of sight of the elephant king, the earth opened and swallowed him alive. Thus the Blessed One concluded the Silava Naga Jataka with this verse: "A man who delights in ingratitude and constantly seeks advantage, though he possessed the whole earth, would never find contentment." And the people continued to speak at length about these events. Therefore the Blessed One related the story of Kalabu Raja, a former birth of Devadatta, who was swallowed by the earth for harming Kantavadi, a former birth of the Buddha. Again, the master recounted the story of Mahapatapa Raja, a former birth of Devadatta, who was likewise swallowed by the earth for injuring Kula Dhammapala, a former birth of the Buddha. Now that Devadatta had been swallowed by the earth, the people rejoiced. They raised banners, set up plantain trunks and festive decorations, placed water pots filled to the brim, and held a great celebration, saying, "His death is truly a great victory for us." When the bhikkhus reported this to the Blessed One, he said, "This is not the first time the people have rejoiced at the death of Devadatta. In the past, also they rejoiced in like manner." Then he related the Pingala Jataka concerning King Pingala of Varanasi, who was hated by his subjects because of his cruelty. When the king died, the people rejoiced greatly. King Pingala himself harmed all the people. Now that king is dead, all rejoice in gladness. "Ho there, gatekeeper, why do you weep? Do you grieve in sorrow for that yellow-eyed king?" "I do not grieve for him. That yellow-eyed king, I weep out of fear that he may return here. He has gone to the realm of death. Even death he would oppress. Death, unable to bear him, may cast him back to us." At last, the bhikkhus asked the Buddha, "Venerable Sir, tell us now, where has Devadatta been reborn?" "He has been reborn in Avicii hell, Venerable Sir. While living, he suffered, and after death, he has been reborn in a state of suffering." Indeed, bhikkhus, one who is heedless, whether ascetic or householder, suffers in both worlds. And the Blessed One recited Dhammapada, verse 17. Here he grieves, hereafter he grieves. The evildoer grieves in both states. He grieves. He is afflicted, seeing the impurity of his own deeds, and having gone to a woeful realm, he grieves. Yet more, the story does not conclude so that we may rejoice in the downfall of another being. Rather, It serves as a reminder that a single thought of jealousy arising, a single moment of allowing greed, hatred, and delusion to lead the way can open the course of a long and unbroken chain of karma and its results. Fame can cloud wisdom, power can lead the mind astray, but most dangerous of all is when one believes oneself to be entirely right and closes the door to listening. Devadatta had once gone forth. He had once possessed psychic powers. He had once been given the opportunity to practice the path, yet because he nourished an unwholesome mind, he lost honor, gain, and the path to liberation. The Buddha taught, one who is heedless, whether monk or layperson, suffers in both worlds. Therefore, the lesson is not found in judging others, but in turning back to examine oneself. Each small thought today quietly shapes the future of tomorrow. If this story has helped you become even slightly more mindful, even slightly more gentle in your choices, then its purpose has been fulfilled. If you find that these stories from the Dhammapada offer value and reflection for your life, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next account. Together, let us learn to live with mindfulness, one day at a time,